Well, good day everybody, welcome back to another one of my videos. This one's going to be talking about the All Blacks team that's been named to play against England in the first test this coming weekend. Now, I haven't seen the All Blacks team yet, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be sort of, I guess, you know, the way people do videos on YouTube sometimes are reaction videos. Anyway, so I haven't seen the team. I've basically kept myself avoiding any interaction with people that might talk about it. So there's 2 or 3 things that I do know about the team, but other than that, I want to sort of share my thoughts on the team as I see it for the first time, and also chime in a little bit about what I thought the All Black selectors might do. If you watched my previous video, thank you so much. It's good to get some extra thoughts from everybody, and I'm just grateful people watched it. Certainly it was viewed a little bit more than I expected, not by many of course, but a good group of people, and there was some good, you know, some comments and debate provided, which I do enjoy. Certainly as All Blacks fans, we can debate you know, any aspect of a team, or you know, anything, so, or decisions made by coaches and everything, so I do love that. So why don't we get into it, and I will just sort of go through the list as I see it, but it's going to be a heck of a game this weekend, so really looking forward to it. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's start at number 1, Ethan de Groot and Cody Taylor. That was relatively predictable. I think that one of the biggest talking points for the front row was who was going to be at number 3, and Tyrell Lomax has got that. He had quite a bit of time off through injury, so but he's been named and he is the incumbent there. So that's the front, basically the same starting front row that played in the World Cup final, you know, quite a few months ago now. What's that, 7 or 8 months ago? And then at locks we've got Scott Barrett and Patrick Tuipulotu, which I felt relatively predictable as well. So yeah, I mean, Scott Barrett will be captain. Patrick Tuipulotu, the conversation there was about whether his injury would hold up. Oh wow, I picked all the back row as well, so a little bit of credibility for myself there. But yeah, Semi Finau is playing at blindside. He's only played 1 test, so that is he's quite an experience, and this is going to be quite the second test for him. And then we've got Dalton Papali'i at open side flanker, and Adi Sevier at number 8. So plenty. They've gone for plenty of experience, just as I predicted. And I think I'm glad that they think Lomax is ready to play. So that's a bloody good result there. Definitely a solid forward pack. I think they'll offer quite a bit, but that's going to be this is going to be probably the biggest area of interest against England, because that's one of their strengths, is their forward pack. TJ Perenara gets the start at number 9. Again, they've gone for experience there. I thought they might go for Finlay Christie just for speed of the ball, but you can't fault that decision. That was either way, so I don't mind the experience there. I think that'll be invaluable against England this weekend. Then you've got Damian McKenzie at 10, which was relatively predictable as well. Although I think, you know, for Damian McKenzie, he's going to be proper tested in this game. The line speed of the English is going to be quick on defence. They're going to try and cut his time down and just try and shut him down from being able to play the game he likes to play. Certainly the Blues did that very well in the Super Rugby final, so the English would probably have taken some stock from that. And then we've got Beauden Barrett at inside centre, or second 5/8, Rico Ioane at centre or outside centre. So that was predictable as well, I thought. But again, they've gone for experience there, although, you know, with Anton Lienert-Brown, there's plenty of experience also. Sevu Reece on the right wing and Mark Talia on the left wing. I had that as well. And yeah, look, I think they were the 2 form wingers of the Super Rugby competition. Mark Talia was a no-brainer, but whether Sevu Reece got in ahead of Caleb Clark was probably one of the question marks there. And I think just with All Blacks experience and work rate, he probably got the nod there, but we'll see what the bench offers up as well. And Stephen Perofeta, yeah, I think someone made a comment on my last video saying he's not a fullback, he's a 10. Look, I'd I probably agree. Damian McKenzie and Perofeta will probably swap in and out throughout the game. I think really the big talking point there is that Beauden Barrett, who was the fullback in the last time the All Blacks played, is not in the starting lineup, and there's a wealth of experience that misses out there. Perofeta had a great start to the season, but through injury hasn't played a lot of rugby towards the end of the season. However, he was starting fullback for a successful Blues team, so clearly the selectors felt he's done enough. I think that's a pretty solid team, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, obviously I had a couple of tweaks. I had 3 changes in that 15. Certainly the halfback and prop, certainly the prop's a no-brainer. I've got no issues with that, as I was corrected in my video. And TJ Perenara, yeah, look, I've got no issues with that. I mean, he's going to offer physicality and experience. Stephen Perofeta, well, time will tell. We have to give him a shot, I guess, but I don't know if that's the move I would have made, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the other player selections too. So I did pretty well. Out of 15, I got 12, so that's pretty cool. And then in terms of the bench, Amua got the reserve hooker, Tonga Fasi is one prop, and Fletcher Newell is the other. That is pretty straightforward and predictable. Tupou Vai, of course, he was going to get the reserve lock position because we've only got 3 locks in the whole squad. I know there's another lock or 2 floating around, but then we've got Luke Jacobson, which I did think was going to be the case. I thought he would be the reserve loose forward. He can cover all back row positions, and he's got a lot of experience, not necessarily experience in All Blacks in terms of test caps, but he's been in the All Black environment over a large number of years, and of course he's a leader in his Super Rugby franchise. So I like the idea of picking leaders and captains within our Super Rugby teams to be playing together in the All Blacks. So anyway, Luke Jacobson can add a lot there coming off the bench. Certainly a lot of cover, and I do think that he can offer that physicality that I think we need against England in the forward pack. But yeah, it's going to be all about that physical battle. Then we've got Finlay Christie to come off the bench at halfback. Of course, it was between TJ Perenara or Finlay Christie anyway. Anton Leonard-Brown, as I sort of thought as well. I thought, just because Anton Leonard-Brown can cover a few positions there, and then I thought that I had Caleb Clark as my other back reserve, but just for impact, and they've gone for Beauden Barrett. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the debate, isn't it? Stephen Perofeta versus Caleb Clark, and whatever mix you want to have, but Beauden Barrett has to be in the mix, doesn't he? I mean, surely. So coming off the bench, and again, for Beauden Barrett, he probably hasn't played a significant amount of rugby in the last couple of months, finishing with his Japanese club, probably up towards couple of months ago. So look, a very strong team, and I think that the English will really look to put a lot of pressure on, play to their strengths. So the All Blacks will need to be wary of the fact that England will want to slow the game down, probably try and frustrate the All Blacks a little bit, and that's something. And discipline's got to be something that we manage well. We didn't manage it. We haven't managed the All Blacks haven't managed their discipline very well over the last couple of years, and Scott Barrett, of course, that's a bit of a talking point for him. The English don't have Owen Farrell, so that's going to be I feel like a bit of a gap for them. And in terms of odds, the TAB have the All Blacks as strong favourites. Actually, All Blacks are $1.17 and England are $4.60. I don't know if that's head to head, but strong favourites for New Zealand. Look, I think it's going to be a lot closer game than that would suggest. Certainly, I think I explained that in my last video, that this is the first test of the year for the All Blacks. England have and would, that's 7 or 8 months within 7 or 8 months. And the English have played a Six Nations competition and had a warm-up game in Japan. They're going to be very pumped up and keen to... the English will be very pumped up and keen to put some pressure on for this one. So, look, I think it's going to be a lot more closer or even than the odds suggest. But I do think that the All Blacks will win. I think the All Blacks will win 1-12, but you never know. I think it'll be 1-12 in this one, and then we'll see what happens in the next one. But look, relatively predictable team on the most part. We haven't seen Scott Robertson or the new coaching team do anything too drastic. Stephen Perofeta is probably the only one there, and Sammy Penny-Finau as well. But I felt like they had to go that way. He's been the form blindside and offers the physicality I think that's required to come up against England. Let me know what you think. If you've watched this one and you watched the last one, do appreciate it, and enjoy the game. Thanks.